Yo, what's up? It's Ben Scarborough, and I'm chilling here at Third Eye Collective in the secret room with one very special guest, Mike Izzard from Audiobox Studios. Mike, welcome to the show.
Oh, glad to be here.
Cool, man.
No doubt.
So what brings you here to Atlanta, Mike?
Business. Love it in Atlanta. I mean, if you're going to do music, you have to be in Atlanta, and that's why I came, to see Sammy and the crew. I mean, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Always been my favorite place to stop at when I come to Atlanta. It's a must whenever you're in the city.
That's high praise.
Oh, man, it's factual. Facts, no doubt. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So how long are you here?
I'm just here for the day. I've got to go back tomorrow and start back on some more studios and different projects up there.
So tell, for everybody at home that doesn't know, tell everybody about Audiobox Studios in its current iteration today.
Audiobox is a studio that pretty much if you're in the music business, you're going to find out about us or you'll come by. We pretty much the #1 studio in North Carolina, South Carolina. I mean, I think that would be fair to say.
I got to come check it out, man.
It's nice. I mean, it's the atmosphere. A lot of people say that's what's apart, you know. It's just the feel that you get. I've had heads of record labels come in there and they were just like, man, just the feel of it. It's just something about it. And that's something, you know, I thank God for allowing me to build. It's something different.
So what's the layout of the studio? How many rooms do you guys have?
We've got 3 total rooms. We've got A, B, and C. The C room is in our tattoo shop in the back. It's just something that we had to build because it grew so fast on us that, you know.
Tats.
Yeah. So everything is kind of, you know, we've got everything in it. We've got 2 showers in the studio.
Essential.
Oh, yeah. We've got a full kitchen, a full bar.
Oh.
Basketball goal, stripper pole.
What?
And the tattoo shop. So, I mean, you know, one stop.
So who are some of the some notable artists that have recorded at Audiobox?
Just recently we had like 8 or 9 different major artists in at one time. We had Yellow Beezy, Asian China Doll, Sweetie, Quavo, Gucci Man, P from Quality Control. We had, who else? Block Boy, JB, Rocco.
Nice.
And maybe 1 or 2 more.
Sweet.
In Ghana. So we had a lot of people at one time, and that was kind of exciting for us because whenever you watch your project grow into something that's major, then it's a blessing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to go back a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about early days.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Mike Izzard before the studio. You had a career in DJing, right?
Yeah. I ended up DJing because I was in a band and they kicked me out.
And what year is this? What year?
It's hard to say, but them numbers don't mean nothing to us. But anyway.
He was in a band.
Yeah, I was in a band that kicked me out, and I just wanted, you know, I just prayed that I would be able to show them that I knew what I was talking about. So I'm from the band and the DJing, and that was a great success to the point that, you know, the local radio station, which back then was the Big DM, is still the Big DM, we end up providing equipment for them as well as helping with a weekly mix show with PD and Wiggy Fresh. So that turned out to be great. We did that for years down there, and went from there, from DJing, and then I slowly crossed over into actually building my own studio because we just noticed that, you know, the violence had got so bad in the clubs that there was more fighting than anything, and we kind of was just like, you know what, let's just go ahead and stop this and get into the next phase. So the next phase was learning how to build. So the building took place as far as just learning how to first do concrete and then interior work. And long story short, you know, I was ended up working for Bill Evans from Def Jam, and he introduced me to someone from California who I ended up, you know, working with Rick Ross and E-Class, and then it kind of snowballed from there to Fantasia, to Rocco, and just different clients. And basically once I got finished with that, I just kind of had to go back to actually getting in the studio, building my own studio.
Okay, so this first studio, what was your background in construction around the time that first studio was constructed?
I mean, I was always good with a hammer because, you know, I always worked with my dad, and he always showed me, you know, things to do, and I was always exploring things, tearing things apart, building things. So it wasn't no problem in building things.
Okay.
It was just trying to get the money to do it with.
Where was this studio?
I was in Kershaw, South Carolina.
It's still
No, it's probably been tore down by
Okay,
now.
it's defunct now.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what were some early major breakthroughs in that studio that you yourself woke up in the morning and looked at yourself and said, "Wow, that happened at my studio. This is going to be big."
I think any night that, people came through was good. I mean, of course, when you get people like Fantasia come through and Dolph and people like that, every time you kind of have to pinch yourself or thank God that, man, we just had, Gucci Man in the studio. We just had 50 Cent in the studio,
Yeah.
T.I. So, you could be home in bed and get a call and, it's T.I. saying, hey, can I get in there in maybe 15 minutes or so? And, so it's those kind of calls that make you realize that you're in the music business,
Audiobox.
Yeah, the world famous.
So let's see. I have only been to about a handful of studios here that I could probably consider maybe on that level, that have a historical air about it. They've been open for multiple decades. Like I think Doppler Studios is here in Atlanta. Patchwork.
Yeah. Like
Tree Sound. Have you been up to Tree Sound?
The only one I've been in Atlanta is Patchwork. And the crazy thing about Patchwork, I just so happened to call one day and ask could I come in and see it. And when I got to the studio and they opened up the door, they said, "You're Mike from Audiobox." And I'm just like,
yes,
it's one
sir.
of those moments where it's just like,
You gotta pop your own collar on that one.
Oh, it's a blessing, man, because I was just like, how in the hell y'all know about me? He said, it's our business to know who the competition is. And,
nice.
And we've been watching you on the internet. And as a matter of fact, we were talking about you this morning because we want to do a showcase or something in Charlotte, and we was thinking about having it at your spot. So just to hear something like that, knowing that you're on a level that someone can pay attention to you is, it's one of those moments where you know that, okay, I'm in the music business,
Label. Did you guys ever toy around the idea of starting a label?
We do at times, but we're kind of bouncing back and forth. We're going to do something like it in the future because we have no choice. Everybody pretty much saying that we've got more content than a label, meaning that there's so much goes on in there that the only thing we need to do is just really get behind artists. So,
okay.
So, and that's why I'm kind of down here because I want to work with Third Eye and see what we can do as far as collaborating because I've always looked up to you guys because of your cutting edge things that you are doing.
Man.
Everything from the artwork and just, the EDM and rap and, there's no telling who you can find here. So just being down here, it's where I come and just kind of recharge my batteries because it's just such a good place just to meet people. And that's what I try to tell people. You got to get out of your home studio. You got to go to somewhere like Third Eye or Audiobox, which we work closely together. But you have to go to these type places because being in the music business is just like being on the highway. If you don't know nobody, you're going to pass right by. You can have a flat tire on the highway, and if you don't know that person, you're going to pass by.
That's a great way to put that.
But whenever you're interacting with different people in the studio, such as this one, you learn that, okay, that's so-and-so, let him come in the studio, People just don't let you in the studio if they don't know you, Or you're going to have to pay to get in there. So anytime you can gain people trust and, be able to work with different people and network, it's just like going to church. You go to church and you fellowship and things like that. So when you go to a studio like this, you never know who you're going to meet there. And I think that's the importance of Audiobox as well as Third Eye Collective is that when you hear, there's no telling who you're going to meet, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I hear somebody beating in the background now. I mean, it could be 808 Mafia or whoever that I see, working out of here. So
someone's cooking up something.
Yeah, but those things are important because you may have a song that, someone will say, let me hear what you got. And the number one thing, I know we going from thing to thing, but the number one thing that I try to tell artists about, if they say they're a singer, this, that, how long you been singing? I've been singing all my life. Okay, sing something. Or what you want me to sing is just like, you have to have your act together. When somebody say that, let me hear you sing something, you need to have, at least 3 or 4 songs you can go to a rap,
Yeah.
And that's what people do. They say that they're a rapper, they say that they're a singer, but when they get in front of somebody, they freeze up and what do you want me to rap about? It's just like, it's your life. You said you've been doing it all your life, so.
Hey, man, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, man.
Exactly, that's it.
So, a lot of people listening to this episode right now have no idea that you actually came in here and built the studio that they are recording in over there, right over here at Third Eye Collective.
Yeah, I mean, it was something that I really wanted to do because Sam is just such a cool guy. And like I said, you guys all the things you do, it makes it worth coming. Anything from blowing glass to
Oh, yeah.
all. I mean, the whole time I was here, I'm looking at you all do statues and all kind of stuff, photo shoots, and I'm just like, everything's here. Everything's here, and that's what makes it. And you never know who you're gonna meet here, and that's why I come to Atlanta, just to get that feeling and seeing who I can, meet up with. I mean, just like today, I met someone that I never thought I would meet, but just coming down here and networking with you guys, and
Being on that highway.
Yeah, you got to be on the highway.
So check this out.
Okay.
There's a lot of young entrepreneurial people listening, I'm sure. People who may eventually want to go on and start their own recording studio. I'm sure you've got plenty of advice for somebody like that who wants to take the reins and get started and whatnot. If you could say to a young entrepreneur now who wants to open their own studio, circa 2019, what are some of the first things that you would recommend to somebody?
Don't get an investor unless you absolutely positively have to.
That's real. That's strong.
And I think that was one of the things that stunted my growth. Anytime that you want to bring an investor or something in, then it never works out the way you think it's going to.
Okay.
I mean, they might say that we're going to give you $74,000, and they may give you $2,000 or $3,000 down, and all of a sudden, they've got their name on a contract, and it just slows you down. Nobody never does what they say they're going to do. The best thing, I would rather save up the money and do it myself than to bring in other people, because you got a whole different mindset that may think totally different than you. Fortunately, I do have a partner that, he not only did what he said he was going to do, but he pretty much doubled what he said he was going to do.
Oh, that's amazing.
And that's what made this partnership work, and that's what was stunting Audiobox. It was just, don't go around Mike. He's going to ask you for some money, because I knew it was going to be successful. It was just a situation I would beg, borrow, and steal whatever I had to do to get it, because I knew what it was going to be. So from day one, I didn't care about people saying, this guy's begging for money.
Okay.
I didn't care.
So this is going to be a little bit of a fun one. It might be a little bit of a curveball, but this is for everybody out here listening. What's one of the craziest things that's ever happened to you at Audiobox, where maybe you turned the corner and you said, what the fuck?
I think it was one night. Like I said, we do have a stripper pole that's for medicinal purposes, but for those in the listening audience.
Strippers.
Yeah, I can't say stripper, but y'all know what I mean. But anyway, it was this girl who wanted to get on the pole. So it was just like, okay, have at it. Built real nice, looked beautiful. Anyway, she backed up to the pole and put up her hands like that, and she wanted somebody to lift her up.
Okay.
So there was a guy sitting right there. He came and lifted her up, and her legs were up on his shoulders and everything. And right at the same time he decided to bag up, she decided to let go. So her head went from the top of the ceiling down to the concrete, and you could just feel the floor shake. I turned my head and the camera at the same time, because I'm looking for blood and brains. She jumped up like nothing ever happened and said, "You dropped me." And I'm just like, I thought we was gonna get sued or something.
Bands make a dance.
But her head actually hit so hard, man, it just vibrated the whole floor. And I was just like, I knew she was either dead or, but she jumped up and and I'm just like, whoa.
And that stayed with you over the past few years. You just go back to that?
Yeah. Get on the pole at your own risk.
Now, have you ever had a top 10 hit or a number one single come out of Audiobox? I know you have, but what are some of these biggest hits?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, right now, DaBaby. He's got one of the number one.
He just signed to Interscope, right?
Yeah, he signed to Interscope. We've been recording Baby for about 2 years, and he's just been somebody who just constantly at it. It was nothing that I could say we done. I mean, he came in and paid for what he wanted to do, and he knew what he was going to do. And
he's a North Carolina native, right?
Yeah, I think he's from Detroit, but he moved here when he was like 7. But you know, yeah, I mean, we watched him where when he first kind of got a big buzz, the whole city was behind him, and then it kind of died out a little bit. He kept doing what he did, and to see him now, it's just like, it's amazing, man.
I think he's on tour right now, actually.
Yeah, he's on a real good tour, and I actually had a chance to go on stage and watch him, and just to see that many people, trying to break down the barricade to get him, it's just like everything that he's getting, he deserves it, because he paid the price.
He can rap too, man. If y'all haven't heard DaBaby's self-titled album on Interscope, it's actually not self-titled. It's called Baby on Baby. Y'all need to go check that out. Tracks 1 through 12 really pop. There's some Instagram captions in that lyric book. Just y'all need to go dig into that because it's awesome.
But the crazy part about it, he never writes anything down. He just listens to the beat and goes in there, and pretty much within 3 or 4 minutes, he'll say his verse, whatever he has to say, or come up with it right there on the spot, and that's the way he always record. And
that's kind of prolific if you think about it.
Oh yeah, like I say, I'm nothing but happy for him because I never in my wildest dream that I think somebody would put Charlotte on the map like he's doing.
So, if I had a studio and me being an avid music fan, now there would probably be a moment where somebody that I was a fan of came in there and I would be like, yes. Did you ever have that moment where a favorite musician of yours came through?
Yeah, I think 50 Cent was one of them because I never thought I would meet 50 Cent. But since I've been in the music business, I've met everybody from Kim Kardashian to everybody, Drake, Nicki Minaj, list goes on and on.
Oh, yeah.
Gucci Mane. So all of them, it was like a milestone. I think Block Boy JB is one of my favorites because it's just like, you're seeing somebody just like yourself who basically came from nothing and he's being respected for something. So I think that's what I like, just seeing somebody just raw who's being respected and
navigating the industry.
Exactly.
So being in a place that Block Boy JB is in right now,
okay.
The hustle kind of mirrors your own maybe?
Yeah, that just knowing that, nobody expect nothing good to come out of you, and whenever you do make it, it's good. It's a good feeling.
It's like that victory lap.
Yeah.
Now, how many studios have you built, Mike?
Not many. I try not to build any. Actually, when I got ready to build mine, I really didn't want to see any professional studios because I wanted mine to be different. So the first thing I thought about is let me do like an MTV style kitchen and build the whole studio from that because I wanted it to have a look of like an industrial type look, but at the same time something modern. I didn't want to go off of no pattern because most studios are built by carpenters that only know how to build houses and that's it.
Okay.
So I wanted to come from a different angle, and I think that that's what helped pave the way to make us successful. Everybody comes because of the feel of it and, the looks of it, the colors, everything, I prayed, it came to me, and that's real.
Do you guys have windows in the A and B room? So it could be any time of day?
Yeah, well, I don't have any external windows, but yeah, I mean, you could be in the A or B room and you never know what time it is, and I purposely
I think
did
that's
that.
key.
Yeah, because I didn't want it to be a time factor,
Yeah.
anything. You can be in at 12 o'clock and you think that it's midnight,
So outside of music and outside of construction, are there any other creative endeavors that you've had in like a different field? Like could be poetry, could be painting, could be something in the movie industry?
No, that's about it. I mean, I do a lot of things, but as far as getting into something else, no. I mean, I'm a photographer as well, so I mean, that would probably be my only hobby other than the music.
And people can see your photography on the Audiobox Instagram, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything on Instagram I've done it, but that's just iPhone. I mean, it does.
And while you guys are listening to this, go ahead and pull that Instagram up. What's the @ on the account?
Audiobox Studios. 3 separate words, Audiobox Studios.
Those 3 very special words all together as a username is where you can find Mike and his company on Instagram. And just go ahead and scroll through that feed real quick. I know you're listening, but just go ahead and, scroll and take a look.
Follow.
Oh, yeah, and big follow.
Yeah. But if you go down through there, you're going to see pretty much, my life's an open book, and it's about 1% of what really goes on in Audiobox. But it's a place that, it cost me my wife and my girlfriend, so.
Now, that is an entrepreneurial story straight from the Entrepreneur's Bible.
Yeah, because, where I'm going, I really didn't want to drag my wife or anybody else through, what I'm going through, which is,
those long nights.
Oh, yeah. I never know when I'm coming home, and I never know who's showing up or anything like that. So, I just didn't want to have no time restraints on what I did.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's something that everybody has to consider when they go out like that.
Yeah. But I knew I was going to be successful. But this is just the beginning. I mean, I think this new project that we're going to be working on with you guys, I think that's really going to be doing something. So, Third Eye is definitely a place where, a lot of producers come, and I'm always anxious to hear, who y'all have just signed and things like that.
Yeah.
For everybody who don't know, these guys are signing some of the hardest artists out there, EDM, rap. I mean, real trap music. I mean, you know, real gutter, everything.
We call this place Ground Zero for a reason.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, but the good thing about it, everybody gets along. People from all walks of life, you know, comes in. I think the same true with Audiobox. You know, football players, you get famous rappers. I mean, you know, but they're just like us because when you're here, you're at home, and you know, it's just, you know, settle down and do what you do and network, and that's the good part about it. A lot of studios, you know, it's all about, you know, sign here, do this, do that. But I think we kind of provide more of a family atmosphere, or almost like a cult type following when you come here, because it's just all kind of people here.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing about it. And everybody's treated, you know, equally. So it's not a favorite, you know, whether you're a rapper or a rock star or whatever. It's a good feel.
So you've got some other ventures going on here in ATL. Would you like to let anybody know about that, or is it early days?
It's still early right now, but looking forward to possibly doing a joint venture with some big wigs. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely Atlanta's a place that I'm looking forward to getting a place in as well, because.
Hey, ATL to Charlotte Connect.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Charlotte is growing so fast that I still want to come down here, because this is a place where it's just a lot of things going on.
Now, you know what? It just hit me that there was something that happened that was highly controversial with the North Carolina entertainment business scene, specifically regarding the film industry. Wasn't there something?
Yeah, they took away the tax breaks that they were giving the movie industry, and that was something that was stupid, because it was just, I know one of the ladies that was on the board, on the film board.
Okay.
And they were actually bringing so much money into Charlotte, it was crazy for them to cut it. But someone just said, look, you know, we need to quit giving them a tax break. They didn't know what they was talking about, because they didn't understand the amount of money that was coming into it. The particular lady I was talking to, she said she was spending over $1 million a day when she was here in Charlotte.
Wow.
And for somebody that say, you know, well, we shouldn't give them no tax break because, you know, they're really not helping us. They didn't know the facts, and they are in the process of reversing it now, if they haven't already. Last I heard, that's what they were doing.
That rings true. I have met some people in the past year that told me that the reason that they're down here in Georgia from North Carolina was that specific moment in time when they just like couldn't make money in the industry, in the union that they were in. Exactly,
but she was saying that, you know, whenever something like that happens, it's hard for them just to come back, because when you start moving all this equipment and stuff, that's not an easy job. That's not something you can just do in 1 or 2 days.
Right.
It's such a big hassle that, you know, it's almost like, you know, you can change the law back, but it's just like, we done moved all this stuff now.
It's like people moving their entire studio.
Exactly, yeah. They don't want to go through that again, you know. But hopefully it'll come back. I think, you know, we're beginning to see a little bit of it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this being the secret room and me being Ben Scarborough, you know, I'd be a little remiss if I didn't ask you about gaming.
I think it's going to be big. Gaming is something that I hear a lot of professional football players putting their money into, and different entrepreneurs, because it's something that if you're not aware of it, it's growing real big. I mean, they have competitions and things like that a lot of people don't even know about, and I'm only on the back end of it, listening to it and hearing these people investing in it, and I'm just like, boy, that's the next new wave. I mean,
can we go back to the arcades? Can we go back to early young Mike, maybe pumping quarters in a Miss Pac-Man? Can we talk about a high score, maybe?
It wasn't necessarily a high score, but just being able to play a pinball machine. I mean,
pinball. Okay.
Yeah. That was.
Was there a specific pinball machine in? Can you see it? Do you know which one it is?
Forgotten by now, but. But it was fun. It was a way. I mean, you know, it was a way to relieve some, you know, tension and whatnot.
Sure.
You know, just something to do. Yeah.
So we're big gamers here, obviously.
Oh, definitely.
And I always get a little chuckle out of asking somebody about like a positive gaming memory that they've had. And so like just pinball enough, that's really special. You're actually the first person I've sat down with who can remember like a good pinball experience, you know.
Yeah, I could go back a ways, you know.
But anything in the video game realm?
I can't think of the name of it. Gosh, I'll think of it in a minute.
Okay.
But anyway, but to be honest with you, I work so much, I don't even own a game console. I've never played a game console.
Okay.
I mean, I've had the
hustle grind.
Yeah, that's it. You know, I like working, and when you work 14, 15 hours a day, it leaves very little time for gaming. But I still don't think that it's progress. The graphics is not where I want it to be at yet. I want real graphics. I want you can actually see real people and know, you know, it's just.
Yeah. So what about virtual reality? That's big right now.
I think that's still behind.
Me too.
I'm a real futuristic person, and I kind of want it to be farther along than what it is. I think that.
You're trying to plug something into your head, right?
Yeah. But I really want something to be, you know, if it's virtual reality, I want it to be to a point that's just like, whoa, I can't tell night from day. This is real, you know. So that's what I'm looking for, is to be able to really see. And it's going to get there. I mean, the computers are getting faster. People are getting smarter, and with people doing the gaming and stuff, I think that it's going to get there. I mean, it's a good time to be alive, and I guess every generation say that.
Yeah.
But I think today's kids don't have no idea of the progress that we've made. To them, it's just an upgrade. To us, it's just like, whoa, you know.
Yeah, it is kind of like some WTF.
Yeah.
I can't believe this is going on right now.
Man, tell me about it. But yeah, man, just being down here, man, it's always great to come here, just to see the caliber of people you have here and how you all still grounded, and you know that's a good feeling. And I look forward to you know, doing the work that we're going to be doing together. So
yes, sir,
it's going to be great.
Well, what do you say we get out of here?
It's up to you, man. Like, 'cause I'm having fun. I'm here in the ATL. I come down here to hang out with Sammy. I think he's around here somewhere. So
let's go out of here to get a drink, man.
All right, let's do that.
But check this out. Before we get out of here, just because we got the ears of everybody from inside the perimeter to all the way up the East Coast,
you probably want them to know.
Let these people know something, man.
Follow Audiobox. It's Audiobox Studios. And just go all the way down through it, and I think you'll see a history that even my grandmama's proud of.
That's brilliant, man. Well, you guys heard it first. It's Mike Izzard and Ben Scarborough sitting right here at Third Eye Collective in the secret room, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
No doubt. Appreciate it.
Peace out.
This why I wanna put your man first season. Put your man first season. This is why I wanna put your man first. The dope game hard, the rap game easy. This is why I wanna put your man first season. Put your man first season. This is why I wanna put your man first. On the East Atlanta balls, dirty south like Slim Thugger. Cheesy can make a hit with a Louisville slugger. Slap coach, KP, stone, slick puller. Punch, kick your beat dead in this sucker. Popping on the radio, boy, that's a dime. Wild with HB, smoking on the geek chain. Played you out of verse, 'cause I know you